In our headlines this morning, Governor Obiano cautions politicians against campaign of calumny. Ocha Brigade launches Operations Clear and Sanitize Anambra. Nigeria Immigration Service recovers 700 voter cards from foreigners. On the foreign scene, biggest political party in Belgium quits coalition government. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonye Mokoye. Governor Wele Obiano of Anambra has cautioned candidates for All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA) against campaign of calumny and character assassination to promote politics of love during the campaigns. Governor Obiano, who was speaking in Oka, re-echoed that transparency had been one of the cardinal tenets of democracy, which had been a guiding principle of APGA. The governor, while praying for landslide victory for APGA candidates, urged them to ensure quality representation when elected in the 2019 elections. He urged them to contribute in providing democratic dividends to their states and constituents. Governor Obiano reassured he would not relent in prompt payment of workers' salary and provision of other basic needs. The national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA), Chief Victor Oye, says the party is determined to address the numerous challenges facing the Nigerian nation. He stated this during the inauguration of the party's campaign for the 2019 general elections at the Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka. A correspondent, Emmanuel Okonkwo, reports.
Chairman of APGA said that the party's agenda is to transform the nation's economy as it is committed to replicating the good governance being enjoyed by Anambra in other states of the Federation.
APGA is presenting a formidable duo. Two men that have the capacity, physically and mentally, to transform this country. APGA is serving you a beautiful buffet. Buffet of integrity, buffet of acuity, buffet of dexterity, buffet of performance. What we are going to do at the national level is a replica of what Governor Wele Obiano has done in Anambra State.
On his part, the member representing Anambra Central Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Chief Victor Ume, called on APGA leadership to devise more means of reconciling the aggrieved members to enable the party conquer and achieve its goals and aspirations during the forthcoming general elections.
APGA represents the spirit of the masses of Nigeria. APGA is a party that is out to provide succor to the oppressed people of Nigeria.
In an address, the National Secretary of the party, Mr. Labramaku, cautioned candidates for next year's general elections under the party's platform against hate speech. Also speaking, the member representing Ihiala Constituency 1 in the State House of Assembly, Mr. Chid Udemado, and APGA flag bearer for Nkwelu-Isu Wangele Njaba Federal Constituency in Imo State, Mr. Emmanuel Obase, described the party as the future and hope of Nigeria. For the Special Assistant to the Governor on Community Liaison, Princess Bibiana Nwankwo, Ndibo should continue to maximally support APGA and endeavor to rally round it in the next year's general elections, as it remains the only platform through which they will take their rightful position in the nation's polity.
Let's still support APGA. APGA Wanankai. It's not when your child offends you, throw your child away. You still call your child back and apologize. Please, for whatever reason, still vote APGA. You gave us 21-21, and we still believe we can do it in the upcoming election.
From Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
State government constitutes caretaker committee for the state government. Sorry, I take that again. The state government has constituted a caretaker committee for Isu Anocha Development Union in Oka North local government area. The setting up of the caretaker committee followed the dissolution of Chief Tony Onyagolo-led executive, whose tenure should have ended in May 2021. A release signed by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, Mrs. Vera Queen Okonkwo, said that Mr. Ike Okonkwo from Umuelom village, Isuanocha, is to serve as chairman of the caretaker committee, while Mr. Francis Mbume from Umueri village will serve as secretary. According to the statement, the 9-member caretaker committee of Isuanocha Town Union has to reconcile the different factions in the community, in addition to restoring the spirit of oneness in the area of some of its terms of reference. The committee is also to put in place a structure that will ensure that and sustain a peaceful coexistence in the community, in addition to preparing grounds for the smooth conduct of a credible election in the community's development union, to be supervised by the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Community Affairs. According to the statement, the committee has tenure of 3 months with effect from 7th December 2018. The Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra or CHA Brigade says it is committed to ensuring that no individual or group frustrates the efforts of Governor Willie Obiano in making this year's Yuletide one of the best for Anambra. The Managing Director and the Superintendent General of the Brigade, Mr. Pat Obiefuna, who stated this in Oka, said to ensure that the objective is achieved, the Governor has provided the Brigade with all necessary tools, including operational vehicles. The Superintendent General of Ocha Brigade warned miscreants who mount roadblocks and collect illegal levies, as well as traders who always display their goods on the roads, to stop forthwith, as the brigade has been decentralized to ensure effective grassroots operations. Mr. Obiefuna disclosed that the brigade has embarked on massive operation codenamed Operation Clear and Sanitize Anambra, adding that the operation is a continuous exercise and will be carried out with vigor in all markets and streets in the 3 zonal commands of the brigade and Oka, the state capital. The Nigeria Immigration Service has recovered no fewer than 700 voter cards from foreigners living in the country. The service vowed that allies would not vote in the 2019 general elections, noting that it is fully involved in the security of the electoral process. Speaking at the 2018 Nigeria Immigration Service Awards presentation in Abuja, the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Mr. Muhammad Babandede, explained that the agency has improved on its capacity to further secure the borders ahead of the 2019 elections. The Comptroller General pointed out that the 7.1 billion naira technology building under construction would impact on the operation of data management of the Nigerian Immigration Service. Mr. Babandede explained that the awards to deserving Nigeria Immigration Service officers were meant to encourage and motivate them to work harder and deliver on the mandate of the service. Now, business news. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, says it is determined to ensure that the telecom consumer is well protected, informed, and educated. The Director, Consumer Affairs Bureau of NCC, Mrs. Felicia Onwebucholam, made a promise while flagging off the 40th edition of the Consumer Town Hall meeting in Oguta, Imo State. She said the Commission has developed a series of initiatives with the main goal of empowering consumers with appropriate information and education that will ensure their rights, privileges, and interests are adequately protected. The director said that some of the initiatives for consumer empowerment and education includes organizing outreach programs such as Telecom Consumer Parliament, Consumer Outreach Program, and Consumer Town Hall Meeting, which the establishment rotates around the country. Now, foreign news. Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel might encounter trouble next week in keeping his government in place after the biggest party in his coalition quit on Saturday after a disagreement over signing the UN Migration Pact. The Flemish NVA said they were pulling its ministers from the coalition because Michael would be signing the UN migration plan in Marrakesh, Morocco today, despite their objection to it. NVA's leader, Bart de Wever, had issued an ultimatum to Michael saying he would quit the government if he signed the non-binding UN declaration. Michael said he would continue with a minority administration and would reshuffle posts, which is a difficult task for the government since French and Dutch speakers must have an equal number of ministerial posts by the law. The Belgian Prime Minister said he would maintain a minority coalition with French-speaking liberal reformist movement and two Flemish parties, the centre-right CD&V and Open VLD. On the sports news, 9-time African Women Cup of Nations champion Super Falcons of Nigeria have been handed a tough draw at the 2019 FIFA Women World Cup billed for French next year. At the conclusion of the draws made in La Seine, Musil in Paris, France, the Super Falcon coaches and players found themselves in Group A with the hosts, France, South Korea and Norway, nations who on paper have a better rating. And to survive, the Super Falcons must have to up their game much better than they displayed at the 2018 AFCON in Ghana, where they won their last two games on penalty shootout to retain their trophy. However, midfielder Ngozi Okobi said the team would be adequately prepared to face the challenge. The best outing for the Super Falcons was in the 1999 when they reached the quarterfinals. The remains of late Mrs. Francisca Nedum have been laid to rest at her hometown, Urofolo village, Akambese Nre, in an Ocha local government area of Anambra State. Late Christiana, aged 89, was the mother of a former managing director of ABS, Lady Chinwe Nedum. A correspondent, Success Odemena, reports that the funeral ceremony was attended by friends and well-wishers and in-laws, among other dignitaries. We have the details of that report.
In a requiem mass, the Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezeukafor, enjoined Christians to be steadfast in the service of God while alive in order to inherit God's kingdom after death. He added that death is inevitable and called on the faithful to prepare their ways on earth for eternity, as everyone will give account of their stewardship in heaven. In an interview, the daughter of the deceased and former MD, Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Lady Chinwe Nedum, said that her mother was a peacemaker and lived a life worthy of emulation. In their separate speeches, the son of the deceased, Pastor Emmanuel Nedum, and her daughter-in-law, Mrs. Obiamaka Nedum, described late Mrs. Francisca Nedum as a gentle and God-fearing woman who never discriminated but accommodated all. The MD and the CEO of ABS, Nze Uche Nwora, the Director of News and Current Affairs, Mr. Gabe Obaleze, and other staff were part of the sympathizers that witnessed the funeral ceremony and paid their last respect.
We thank God for the life of Mama who died at an enviable age. May the Lord console the family. And of course, that's the news. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. Like us at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Now, the main points of the news once again. Governor Obiano has cautioned politicians against campaign of calumny. Ocha Brigade has launched operations Clear and Sanitize Anambra. Nigeria Immigration Service has recovered 700 voter cards from foreigners. And from the foreign scene, biggest political party in Belgium has backed out of coalition government. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonye Mokoye. Good morning, Anambra continues.